Hi there folks, welcome to the Lunatic Reader. Today in this video, I'll be talking about The Magicians of Mazda written by Ashwin Sanghi. The book was released back in May 2022, but I just happened to read it recently. So I'll be sharing my thoughts on it, and if you're new to the channel, then please do hit the subscribe button. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. To give you some context, this book is the 7th installment from the Bharat series written by Ashwin Sanghi. And if you're an avid reader of genres like Indian mythology, historical fiction, or conspiracy theories, then you're probably familiar with his name. He's a best-selling author popularly known for his Bharat series. This book, however, can be read as a standalone novel even if you haven't read the other books from the series. And the stories in this series are pretty much rooted in Indian history, civilization, and cultural ethos. Though they feature different characters in each book, they're not really interlinked. And Ashwin's writing style is what you'd call genre bending, as he navigates through different timelines, civilizations, exploring mysteries surrounding ancient historical figures, their cultures, modern day conspiracy theories, while also touching upon geopolitics. So all these elements combined together with a fast-paced writing style gives you a Bharat series book. But mind you, this book is 492 pages long, so it's not a quick read. Now, talking about the premise of this book, Jim Dastur, the protagonist, is a Seattle-based scientist working on a secret formula called Hamza Dura that can pretty much cure all the deadly or incurable diseases like cancer, dementia, and Alzheimer's. But before he can publish his research, he's abducted from his laboratory and taken to Tehran, where Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah, believes that Jim is the key to uncovering an ancient relic known as the Atravan star. So in the midst of all this, his historian wife, Linda, is also drawn into this terrifying chase across changing landscapes, hoping to bring Jim back home. While the typical cat and mouse chase follows these two, the author also explores Zoroastrian history, starting from 720 CE when a fleet of boats docked at the port of Zanjan in Gujarat, carrying 18,000 Zoroastrians fleeing from Iran's Umayyad Caliphate to escape brutal religious persecution. These immigrants settled in India consecrate their sacred fire of Iran Shah in their new homeland, and eventually becoming known as the Parsis. Jim Dastur, also a Parsi from an affluent family in Mumbai, is linked to a much sought after Atravan star. The mystery surrounding his lineage unfolds slowly as you read through the book. Now, talking about characters, the book has plenty to offer, but only a few will stay in your memory due to their lack of development or depth. Besides the lead characters of Jim and Linda, there's barely any other character that leaves a mark, and those with potential are often abruptly ended, making their intriguing roles forgettable at best. Little to no time is invested in developing the characters, and you'll quickly learn some mundane details about them, like their coffee preference or secret affairs or sexual fantasies, which makes it hard to connect with them emotionally as there is only little time invested in them. This is pretty much a common issue across all of Ashwin Sanghi's books, as he never really takes time to develop the characters. The narration is primarily a third-person point of view with some first-person point of view as well, where Jim recounts memories of his past, often discussing his family history, Parsi heritage, and Zoroastrian history. While this blend of first-person point of view and third-person point of view has some merits, it does become draggy at times, especially when conversations between Jim and his grandmother or his wife turn into lengthy historical discourses. Although it serves as a good Zoroastrian History 101 guide, these flashbacks are not seamlessly integrated into the story, feeling forced at times and halting the story's progression for the most part. Although Ashwin Sanghi is known for his fast-paced writing, this book lacks exactly that. It's 492 pages long and not a brisk read. The pacing is inconsistent and the narrative is repetitive, with characters getting kidnapped and released repeatedly. The detailed descriptions of scenes, characters' outfits, weapons, and even recipes are unnecessary and distracting. While Sanghi's visits to locations mentioned in the book add a realistic touch, they often feel like pointless details. All in all, I'd rate this book 6 out of 10. It had the potential to be a gripping adventure thriller given its scope and characters, but inconsistent pacing, lack of character development, and weak narration doesn't help it at all. The entire plot revolves around Hamza Dura, the secret formula that everyone wants, but until the very end. When I say the very end, I mean literally the last few pages. You have no clue about the composition of its healing properties or any scientific basis. The end reveal feels like a low effort writing, making all your reading so far seem meaningless. This is pretty disappointing coming from Ashwin Sanghi because honestly I had better expectations on this one. But unfortunately, the book tries to be a jack of all trades but is a master of none. That's all I have to say. Until next time, keep reading, keep exploring.